You wake up, check your phone, head to the bathroom, grab some coffee, leave the house, work all day, come home exhausted, and go to bed feeling like you made it through another perfectly normal day. But what if I told you that hidden inside that seemingly harmless routine are habits that could be putting your health, your safety, and even your life at risk? And the worst part is, these habits are so common, so automatic, that you probably do several of them every single day without even noticing. Some of them seem completely harmless. Others are things you've been taught to see as normal, and some are so common that nobody even stops to question how dangerous they really are. Today, you're going to discover 15 dangerous things people do every day, without even realizing it. And after this video, I guarantee you'll never look at your daily routine the same way again. The truth is, danger rarely looks dangerous. Most of the time, it doesn't show up like a dramatic movie scene, a flashing red warning, or some tense soundtrack telling you something is wrong. Most of the time, it hides inside what feels ordinary, inside a habit, a distraction, a moment of rushing. That little voice saying, "That would never happen to me." That's exactly why so many people put themselves at risk without realizing it. Not because they're reckless, but because they've gotten used to small behaviors that feel too normal to question. And that's where the real problem begins, because a lot of the time, what destroys someone's safety isn't one huge mistake. It's the small choices repeated every single day. Choices that build up. Choices that seem harmless. Choices that, at the wrong moment, can cost a lot. So stay until the end, because some of these are so common, there's a very good chance you're doing several of them right now. 1. Looking at your phone while walking. Few things are more common today than seeing someone walking down the street with their eyes locked on a screen. They think they're just answering a quick text, checking a notification, or changing a song. It feels harmless. But in that exact moment, they stop paying attention to the sidewalk, traffic, bikes, potholes, people around them, and even signs of danger. In just a few seconds, their awareness of the world disappears. And it's scary how fast everything can go wrong. A missed step on a staircase, crossing the street without looking, a scooter coming out of nowhere, an easy target for theft because they never noticed who was coming. Your phone has become an extension of your hand, but it has also become one of the biggest sources of distraction in modern life. 2. Not getting enough sleep and acting like it's normal. A lot of people have turned exhaustion into a lifestyle. Sleeping 4, 5, or 6 hours a night has become a badge of productivity, hustle, and hard work. But your body doesn't read that as dedication. Your body reads it as stress. When you sleep less than you need, your brain works worse, your memory weakens, your reflexes slow down, your immune system drops, and your ability to make good decisions takes a hit. In real life, poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it makes you slower, moodier, more vulnerable, and more likely to get hurt. It's like going through every day with part of your system shut off. And the most dangerous part is that after a long time of not sleeping enough, people think they've adjusted. When really, they've just forgotten what it feels like to function normally. 3. Using headphones at full volume. This seems small. So small that most people don't even think of it as a problem. But listening to music, videos, or anything else at high volume every day can cause slow, permanent damage to your hearing. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because it doesn't hurt right away. It doesn't set off an alarm. It doesn't force you to stop. The damage happens quietly. First, you start turning the volume up more often. Then you think people are mumbling. Then you notice a weird ringing in your ears. And by the time you realize what's happening, part of your hearing may already be gone. It's strange how people fear one loud explosion, but ignore the cumulative damage of small daily excesses. 4. Sitting for hours without moving. Some people spend almost their entire day sitting. At work, in the car, on the train, on the couch, in front of a computer, while eating, and even during their free time. The human body was not built to stay still for that long. When that becomes your routine, Back pain starts showing up, neck tension builds, circulation gets worse, posture declines, and the risk of several health problems goes up. What's most surprising is that people often don't even realize how inactive they are. They feel busy, productive, even tired. But physically, their body is slowly wearing down in silence. Sometimes the danger isn't overexertion, it's the complete absence of movement. 5. Holding in a sneeze or suppressing a cough. A lot of people do this out of politeness or pure instinct. They hold in a sneeze, suppress a cough, and try to silence the body so they don't draw attention. But those natural reactions exist for a reason. They help your body get rid of particles, irritation, and mucus. When you forcefully stop your body from doing something it's trying to do naturally, you can create unnecessary pressure in sensitive areas. Most of the time, maybe nothing happens, but the habit reveals something dangerous, the tendency to fight your body's natural warning signs. And the more people do that with small things, the more they train themselves to ignore what their body is trying to say. 6. Taking medicine without medical guidance. Headache? Take whatever's nearby. Body aches? Go for the same pill you always take. Heartburn? A cold? Nausea? Fever? Suddenly, people become their own walking pharmacy. The problem is that self-medicating feels safe precisely because it's so common. But medication comes with dosage, purpose, restrictions, interactions, and risks. Mixing substances, repeating medications carelessly, or taking the wrong one for a specific symptom can hide serious problems, make things worse, and even cause dangerous reactions. Medicine is supposed to help, but when it's used carelessly, it can become part of the problem. 7. Rubbing your eyes with dirty hands. It's automatic. Your eyes feel tired, irritated, or itchy. And before you even think, your hand goes right to them. But your hands have touched your phone, doorknobs, keyboards, cash, shopping bags, handrails, and countless other surfaces throughout the day. Your eyes are extremely sensitive. When you rub them with contaminated hands, you make it easier for dirt, germs, and irritants to get in. On top of that, rubbing too hard can make the discomfort worse and even injure the area. It's amazing how something that takes less than 2 seconds can cause a problem that bothers you for days. 8. Leaving chargers and electronics plugged in unnecessarily. A lot of people finish using something and leave everything exactly where it is. Charger still in the outlet, power strip overloaded, adapter heating up, cables twisted, outlets packed. Because that has become part of the background of the house, almost nobody sees the risk anymore. But poorly managed electricity is one of the most underestimated dangers in everyday life. Overloading, overheating, and loose connections can lead to electric shock, damaged devices, and even fires. The scariest part is that danger usually doesn't announce itself. It only leaves little warning signs, a strange smell, too much heat, a spark, a worn-out cord. And those signs are almost always ignored. 9. Eating too fast. Have you noticed how a lot of people don't really eat anymore? They just shovel food down? Life moves fast. The clock is ticking, the phone is distracting you, and meals become just another task to get through. Eating too fast makes digestion harder, makes it easier to miss the feeling of fullness, and increases overeating. It also raises the risk of choking and makes your body process food less efficiently. Something that should be a basic moment of care turns into another rushed, automatic act. And when even eating loses its place in your attention, your body starts quietly paying the price. 10. Ignoring thirst. Some people go through the whole day and only realize they barely drank any water once the headache starts, the fatigue hits, or their mouth feels dry. The problem is that intense thirst is already a late signal. Your body depends on water for almost everything: circulation, temperature control, focus, energy, organ function. Neglecting that every day affects more than most people realize. A person feels unproductive, sluggish, unfocused, sometimes irritable. and never suspects that part of that discomfort might come from something as basic as not drinking enough water. 11. Driving on autopilot. This might be one of the most dangerous things on the list, because a lot of people think that since they've been driving for years, they can drive while thinking about something else, checking their phone at a red light, eating, adjusting the GPS, replying to a voice message, or just letting their mind drift. That kind of overconfidence comes right before a lot of accidents. On the road, 1 second of distraction is enough. A pedestrian steps out, a car brakes suddenly, a motorcycle appears in your blind spot, and what felt like total control turns into disaster. The more familiar someone is with the route, the more likely they are to underestimate the danger, and that's exactly where the trap is. 12. Mixing cleaning products. Some people believe that if one product cleans, two mixed together must clean even better. So they mix bleach with other cleaners, improvise homemade combinations, and turn cleaning the house into a chemistry experiment. That is extremely dangerous. Some mixtures can release toxic fumes and cause serious irritation to your lungs, eyes, and skin. The problem is that a lot of people learned these habits by watching others do it. It became a household tradition, but tradition does not mean safety. 13. Touching your face all the time. Most people have no idea how often they touch their own face throughout the day. They touch their mouth, nose, eyes, chin, rest their face on their hands, pick at their skin, mess with tiny blemishes. It's automatic. But that automatic behavior makes it easier to transfer dirt and germs, increasing the risk of irritation and contamination. And constantly picking at your skin can make inflammation and small injuries worse. Your face may feel like just another part of your body, but it's one of the most vulnerable entry points you have. 14. Ignoring small warning signs from your body. This is one of the most dangerous of all, because it goes beyond a physical habit. It's a mental behavior. People feel something unusual and immediately downplay it. A recurring pain? It's probably just stress. A level of fatigue that feels off? I just need more sleep. Dizziness, shortness of breath, some weird discomfort. I'll deal with it later. Modern life has taught a lot of people to suffer in silence, push symptoms aside, and treat their own body like a machine that can never stop. But major problems rarely start out looking major. They usually start small, subtle, almost invisible, and that's exactly why they get ignored. 15. Believing it could never happen to you. This is the invisible habit feeding all the others. The belief that accidents happen to other people, that serious illness is always far away, that danger is always somewhere else, that I've got it, I do this all the time, nothing's ever happened before. That feeling of invulnerability is one of the biggest traps in the human mind. Because it doesn't eliminate risk, it only lowers attention. And when attention goes down, danger goes up. Most everyday tragedies don't begin with malice, intention, or obvious recklessness. They begin with familiarity, with overconfidence, with routine, with the habit of letting your guard down around things that seem too ordinary to be dangerous. At the end of the day, the scariest thing about danger isn't how violently it appears. It's how easily it hides inside your routine. Inside simple things. Inside repeated things. Inside the things you do without thinking. And maybe that's the biggest lesson today. Safety isn't about living in fear. Safety is about living with awareness. It's about paying attention where autopilot used to take over. It's about realizing that common doesn't always mean harmless. It's about understanding that small habits, repeated every day, can either protect you or slowly destroy you. So after this video, take a closer look at your routine, because sometimes changing one small habit today can prevent a huge problem tomorrow. Now tell me in the comments, which of these did you realize you do every single day without even thinking? And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because here, every video will make you see the world a little differently.